What I see when I watch other people's movies. Transformers: The Last Night. Today we're talking about the film's inconsistent aspect ratio. Throughout The Last Night, the aspect ratio shifts between 185 and 235 within a 16:9 frame. Standard industry practice, at least for a film meant for the widest possible audience, is to shoot a high-quality negative that can be cropped for different release formats. For example, Jurassic Park was shot on Super 35 but cropped to 185 for theatrical release, and those prints were ultimately scanned and encoded into a 16:9 frame for the DVD release, whereas the 4:3 VHS release made use of the full Super 35mm frame as the aspect ratios are similar. This allows for minimal quality loss that would typically come from modifying a film from its original version to fit your screen. When I shot my movie Fractals in 2020, we shot a mix of video formats. Some recorded in 4:3, others in 16:9, both 6K and HD sensor cameras, as well as cropped 6K and 4K video that recorded in 2:3.5. Ultimately, though, all the footage was retooled to fit a 2:1 aspect ratio, thus conforming it for the sake of the viewer. Now, previously, when a big-budget film went back and forth between aspect ratios, it was usually in the context of viewing an IMAX presentation, where all talkie scenes shot with a regular 35mm camera, a widescreen, and all the action scenes shot with IMAX cameras shoot in a 4:3 aspect ratio. This is a great example of how aspect ratio is used to educate the audience on what kind of scene they're watching. I've tried my best to come up with some sort of cinema theory as to why Michael Bay chose to cut in between different aspect ratios within scenes, even talkie scenes, and I haven't been able to come up with one. However, I believe I found an answer to the question, and it lies in the Criterion audio commentary for Armageddon.
And I used real anamorphic lenses and real anamorphic film because I got up such a bigger negative, and my release prints looked much better than Super 35 release prints. I used Super 35 on The Rock, and I didn't like it.
So here, Michael Bay laments having to shoot Super 35mm film on The Rock, and is genuinely thankful for being able to shoot Armageddon on anamorphic lenses because of the quality that was retained on the original negative. Although to the average viewer, The Rock is a perfectly beautiful film, and even me, as a filmmaker, I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So Michael Bay seems to want to preserve the highest quality image possible, even on a film shot on something like 8 different cameras, a multitude of resolutions and aspect ratios. So rather than cropping into a singular aspect ratio to keep each shot high quality, he decided to retain all the raw sensor data as it was recorded, thus all the jumping between ratios. There's no answer rooted in theory. Resolution obsession took over. That's that.